How do you see threading that needle with this infrastructure?
I'm having a hard time,
Yeah, yeah,
to
me
be
too, man.
honest. Right,
Yeah,
yeah, because like you said, what's it for? If at the end of the day, it's for data centers and AI, and they do lead to job loss, then is that a good thing or not? But I guess I have to go with we can't actually totally control the future, and all things
yeah,
being equal, having a more efficient bigger grid is probably better for consumers in terms
yeah,
of the cost, as long as we can get the transmission part of it worked out so it's allocated fairly. That's probably better for consumers. And then I go back to your first love and mine, which is efficiency, which is if at the same time we do this big stuff, we can also do things on the smaller end. Make sure that consumers who want can get access to on site solar, on site storage, or make their houses more efficient or participate in demand response. Those are the ways that consumers can participate. And also, hopefully, that would lead to less need for really big power plants, which then can have other impacts. So I'm for the big stuff and the small stuff. And I'm not sure quite how to thread that needle. But at the same time, as a grassroots environmental organization, we do care about process and making sure that there's transparency and people who want to contest permits can do so, whether that's an environmental permit or a CCN, that's important to us. So it's not that we just want to build stuff as fast as possible with no public transparency. We want the public transparency too.
okay. So for this process in particular, like, what do you think that would look like if you're willing to opine on that?
One thing, and I'm really reacting to the testimony I heard because I wasn't involved in these cases, is there were a lot of people who came and said, their map didn't show my residency, or their map didn't show the school I built. The particular kind of terrain or the karst, Edwards Aquifer, Trinity Aquifer, wasn't recognized. And I think a lot of this was done aerially with satellite imagery or drones, and there wasn't a lot of ground testing as they
Okay.
looked at these routes. So I think requiring some actually kind of truth testing on the ground is important, and maybe being a little more flexible and allowing folks like Encore LCRA to have a wider swath of land they can look at. So not necessarily always going the straightest line, but also if there are existing highways with right of ways or other infrastructure that you could easily follow, and therefore you're not degrading as much new land. I think that would be important. And then just generally making it easy for people to participate and clear. There were people who were knocked out of this case because they filed their protest. They said, I want to intervene. And maybe they put their reason for intervening at the same time. And they were actually supposed to do it, a week later, but they were knocked out because they didn't correctly follow the procedure. I think some general education for people, including videos, maybe in some cases. Not everyone reads every word, is going to be important. And maybe allowing also county governments to get more involved in the process, saying if you're a county government official or a groundwater district, you have the ability to also opine or enter as a party, I think could be helpful because they're representing multiple constituents and they've got to look out for the betterment of their county as well and how they want it to develop. So there's some things that can be done.